you go.
Thanks.
Have just a couple of putts there, a little bit of a break left to right, not much.
So shall I do a little read?
Do what you'd normally do.
All right. Find that little thing I want to aim for, which is probably about here. Set up to that. Then after that, I forget about everything apart from distance. Well short. Not bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
But sometimes I get so carried away with line.
Yeah,
that
you forget about
that like I get here and I get rigid because I don't want to move. But really, I need to be thinking more about the right distance. So I'm aiming a bit left again.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit handsy.
Yeah.
Little early head movement. So
Was that the last one?
That was the last one.
Yeah.
So you've hit it a bit hard as well. But for me, definitely.
And
that.
nice.
That doing the work. Where you just hit another one for me. I just want to show you. Well, bring them all back. It's a little bit better as well. How's that not broken? So, I just think you are, and I must admit, you're a bit closer to being head over the ball this time. I think you're only just inside the line. Where I think on a few before your head was quite a long way inside the line. We want your eyes over the ball, so you're looking straight down the target line. That's the thing.
Inside.
As in straight there.
Down.
Yeah, that's it. Where I thought a couple of your first putts, your eye line was about there.
Yeah.
Out there, which I'm not surprised then if you either go that one or the club face turns over because the toe end is almost up a little bit and you're just going to feel that sort of movement.
The biggest
but
thing
that was much better.
Yeah, that felt nice. The biggest thing I struggle with is, should I keep connected and do an arc, or should I go upright and do straight back?
Because of these greens tend to be quite quick, you might, on the occasional time, have to stand there and give it that because you're having a 30-yard putt up a hill.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're going to have that sensation of thinking, my arms can stay stuck on my body. I can just move my shoulders down and up. And it's just that feel because you're going to have that, I don't know, 15 yards, 45 feet at most, where you're just thinking these are quite quick greens at the moment. You get it downhill, you can barely touch it.
Yeah.
It's just trying to find that tempo control. But for me, it's that sensation of you're in that good setup position, and all you're going to try and do is tick, tock.
Sure.
The problem I have in difference from you, as you said, you almost feel like you're comfortable doing that club face movement. I much prefer my own personal setup. I much prefer to see that putter going back and through straight. And as you can see, mine's face balanced.
Level, yeah.
That's all I ever want to see. My bad putt, I do that. My right hand just twitches in.
Yeah.
And it's that sense. That's what I say to you. For me, it's just trying to get this doing the work where you're trying to get left shoulder, left hand, and putter face sort of moving as a unit. Where I feel like your putt is more comfortable being a bit sort of there, and your right hand doing the work.
Oh yeah.
To hit the shot, because I know you were only hitting a couple of putts, but your first putt, you stood there and you almost did that. And he's trying to find that left side of the body doing the work.
Yeah, I do like using my right hand.
The problem is you can do it really well your way. It's not like it's going to be rubbish all the time.
Yeah.
The issue you'll have is your distance control and the occasional one we've already described, as in, you've just started it further left or right compared to where you feel like you're aiming. You're not going to always hit a bad putt doing it handsy. Definitely.
Okay.
We're looking, so from a perspective of amateur golfers in general, tempo control is the biggest bit. That feeling that you can stand here, make a stroke, which is, let's say it's going to the outside of your right foot to there and through, that you do 3 of those in a row, they all go the same place.
Yeah.
Like I'll show you in a minute. I'll do it. I'll show you every single time they'll just go to the same place, because that's what we want to get you to, is that you can control your tempo. And then to the point, if you need to do it shorter than that, you're thinking it's to there, but your tempo's the same, and you're feeling like it's a bit more there. You'll get to a distance that you're starting to feel like I've got to give it a bit, but you're hoping that's not very often. And
Yeah.
because as I said, these greens here are quite big. You got some 30, 40 yard length greens where it's a long way to go if you've hit it at the wrong end of the green.
So I'll act like this putt.
That's better. That's a better setup. A bit more over the ball now. Nice putt.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I closed it. I felt like I came.
I thought, to me, how I would describe that, it was a very good putt to where the ball's finished.
Yeah.
Rather than it being like there's anything wrong with it, I feel like your tempo was nice and crisp. It wasn't too quick. It was probably that much too long in the backswing for it to go to this hole.
Only that much?
I don't think it was much. Look controlled, and the feel of connection. I think it's this side. Sorry, wrong side.
Yeah, I feel
this side. Where the thing is, on a downswing or after impact, your left side would tend to disconnect a touch.
Yeah.
Bit there, because it should. If the shoulder's working correctly, it should disconnect. The feel of that right elbow or right tricep, that's the area you want to feel like this stays there, and you just feel like it's just along for the ride. Where you probably get a little bit disconnected with that right side and gets a bit pushy and flicky and a bit.
Shall I maybe close my shoulder?
No, I think your alignment's good.
Yeah.
You're good setup. I think that just getting you over the ball a little bit more got you a little bit more connected with those triceps.
Okay.
Just there, as in just here, just there. Nice position. Nice putt. Just pushed it a touch.
Yeah. I think that's what happens if I try and isolate.
Control
everything.
it. Well, no, for me, it's where you felt like you control how far the ball was going to go, rather than just making your stroke. That's fine. Should just finish on hole, just to the right. Yeah, that first one didn't break at all.
No.
Very odd. Let's do a different putt.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do a slightly trickier one. We'll just go to the hole behind you. Just from here. Just because there's a bit of break on this and a little bit of...
Oh, yeah.
It's going to roll away from your touch if you do hit it a bit too hard.
So the breaks...
To me, it's quite a big break, but it's all going to probably happen quite late.
Well, okay.
If you get it to here, it's probably going to go in. That way. Stay high. Stay high. Just like that. Easy.
Right. So I'm hardly holding the putt now.
And it's just the shoulders rocking backwards and forwards. Good putt. That should go in as well. Come on. Go. Nice putt.
Getting this weird state with real relaxation. I'm barely holding the club.
Yeah. But I like how you got it here. It's held in the right position.
Yeah.
So the left arm and the club are almost in a straight line. Even just pressing your hands forward towards the target a little bit just to help you feel like you've got it solid, and you just think, right, just move my shoulders. Good putt. That one break. How was that first one broken miles and the other two didn't? Just let it flow. The bit I want you to feel is just the flow of that stroke. That's fine. Might be a touch hard. It's just so big a break at the end there. Ridiculous. It's so big a break at the end.
Okay, I'll take it a lot.
Well, I don't think you quite started on that. Like, you pulled it a touch.
Yeah.
And that's where you just got on the wrong bit halfway to the hole, which meant, yeah, good luck. It's only going to go one way.
So with this,
because if you almost get it running here, it might not break as much because it's going to go on the straight bit. Here is where the break is quite a bit of break, if you see what I mean. There you go.
it's
Ridiculous, isn't it?
man.
And for me, you let the ground do all the work.
Yeah, I would never have taken that line.
No, in all honesty, I thought you pulled your first one probably that much.
Yeah.
And I thought where you were aiming was correct. Until it's that first half of the hole, I can't believe how far it broke. I didn't think it was going to go that much.
Wowzers. It's really hard to get feedback on when I'm out there putting.
Well,
to really know
what you've got to get and this is where what I said about the drill, putting the tee in the ground. Even just putting two tees in the ground, a ball width apart, where you're just going to think, can I hit it through it? Because I think that's the biggest thing you're trying to get your head around. Am I starting on the line I think I'm aiming for? If you're not, then we're readjusting your alignment side of it,
Yeah.
or your stroke, whichever one. If your stroke's really good but your alignment's terrible, we can deal with it. If your stroke's bad and your alignment's pretty good and you just keep on not starting on the line, you've just got to then understand which bit you're going to try and work on. There's so many times you'll misstrike a putt and hit it in just because you've read it wrong, you've hit it on the wrong line, and you actually think, oh, I've actually hold it. How have I managed that?
Because I naturally think I'm good at hitting a straight putt.
Well, look,
I've got no way of proving it really. I don't practice with a gate or the tee drill.
But again, it's do you practice your putting?
Yes.
You do. So I'll make sure before we finish that you've got a couple of games to do.
Right, yeah.
Where it's all about holding a putt. Not fast. You've got some of the things what you've sort of done here is about a little bit about distance control, but effectively you want to just get used to, I would say inside 10 feet. I wouldn't say even fussed about longer than that you're never going to miss. Because you're always going to get your head around, you're never going to miss. Like,
that's what I want.
Like if you're having that putt, how many times would you miss that?
Yeah, quite a lot.
And that's where I want to get you to the point you think, well, that's just a gimme. Oh, I got the pace this time. It's still not going to be that far short. So, in terms of little games, and I know for me the first one's very, very, very simple. Putter's length putt away, and see how many you can do in a row.
Okay.
Where you get it about there, it's just outside gimme range. So you just set yourself a target. Right, give it 15, give it 20. If you're going to do, it's going to take you a little while to get through it, but the next time you come down, you're going to see if can I beat that.
Yeah.
And then you might say, right, I've done 15. Right, now what can I do from 4 feet? Because you're making sure it's a straight uphill putt. You're not going to try and put any break in it. So sometimes it's a bit hard on those putting greens, but you're going to try and go through that process. So when you're on the golf course, these are gimmies. You know you're going to miss the odd one, but if you miss one, you know the next one's going in because you've hit so many high percentage of it.
Yeah.
What I find the biggest thing about this type of practice is gives your long putts and your chips a bigger target.
Right. Yeah.
All of a sudden, instead of it being, I've got to hit it to there to up and down it.
Exactly.
If it's 4 feet, that's mean it's an 8-foot circle.
Yeah.
And you're starting to get that.
I know.
And you can take this to next steps where you all of a sudden you have a lot more practice from 5 feet, a lot more practice from 6 feet, where you're holding the putts more regularly. I love, for me, this is the most important practice to do, where most people will do sort of what we've just done there, have a little bit more fun putts, going from hole to hole to hole, where they might hold 1 in 20. I know this might not work all the time, as in you might miss a few putts. The one thing you want to try and do is hold putts. When you're practicing your putting, you want to hold putts, so you just get some confidence in what's going on with it.
Yeah.
And it's drilling it, being a bit disciplined with it. Even just come down here with some music in your ears or something, just thinking, probably not in the winter, but on a nice summer's day when it's warm and your back's not going to hurt, when you're just going to stand there, even going to silly numbers, get up to 100, 200 in a row, where you're just thinking, I've not missed for like a month. And you start getting to the point that that's easy. That's all you want to get to on a golf course. My God. Because if you can get to that stage, one of the other things is you start pissing off the people that you play with. Because I remember when I used to play a lot more and practice a lot more, I'd never miss this type of putt. 4 feet, I'd literally just stand there and I'd almost go and take the mick and just do that. 1 foot.
These are the ones where I want to pull it straight back.
Well, you just want to stand and just...
But almost I shouldn't think about that at all, do I?
If you just got twitchy on that one.
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yeah.
The right hand just went, oh, yeah. And that's what you described, that's what you described straight away at the start, was that's what you felt your bad shot is. But in a way, you said it as if that's what you like to do. And I'm like...
I'm trying to get comfortable with my own putting, that's why.
That's what I love the idea, like if you could put 2 lines of tees, or just put 2 clubs down.
Yeah.
Where you're just seeing your putter. If we're only working on like 10 foot, you're seeing your putter stay straight. You finish and the putter face is still pointing at the target. All you would have seen with that one, your putter face, only a couple of degrees, but it's enough. Because that's as I described, that's my bad putt. And so I almost know when I'm going to do it, and I still don't stop myself. And I just feel like it's just like, and you're like, oh, for God's sake. And it's almost comfortable if you're hitting that right to left putt.
Yeah, I get a lot of chips to about here, and I would love to be excited about that
So,
rather than dread it.
let me describe the other game, which I think this is my favourite chip putting game, where you need 1 ball and 20 tees. We're not going to worry about setting it up today, but you're going to set it up. So you put the tees in the ground. So you're going to go. You start at 3.
Yeah, I usually put like 10 or 20 balls
So
around.
so you do.
Same tee.
So all you're going to do is you're going to have 5. You're going to have 4 points. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. You're trying your best not to make them too big a breaks, but you're going to have a 3-foot putt, 4-foot putt, 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot. So you put the tees in the ground.
Yeah.
So a whole game. So you're going to have 20 tees. The whole game is to say, look, you're going to start there, put the ball next to the tee, hold a putt. Once you hold a putt, take the tee out. If you don't hold it, you just go back to where you were. Right. So how many putts does it take you to get all 20 tees out of the ground? So obviously 20 is the best. But you're thinking you're having a putt from back here is your last putt, 7 feet, 7 or 8 feet, whatever it is. And it's all of a sudden you'll start seeing that you go, right, 1 putt, 1 putt, 1 putt, 6. It takes you like 6 attempts to get one in, and then the next one you get it in 1. You're like, you start just trying to find that your whole putts more regularly. That's all you're trying to do with this. Yes, you've probably got a little bit of technical stuff to work on, but this is just about holding putts. It's not any matter about it. You're just going to do it and do it and do it and do it. The same thing with the other drill, where you can come back the next week and say, look, I did it in 40 putts last time, and I beat 40 putts this time.
Great game.
It's for me, it's the best game I've ever heard about learning how to putt and the important bit of putting, where it's all about holding it. Forget about your distance control. It's all about just getting the ball in the hole.
But you mentioned now I've got technical stuff to work out. How am I going to tackle that?
Well, for me, keep it inside 10 feet putts and just practice lots of putts, where you can come and do your little bit of technical stuff with this distance away.
Yeah.
But you're just going to stand there and think, look, don't let that happen. And just you're knowing that if I do let that happen, I'm going to drag it left. You probably get the odd one where you probably end up correcting it. I haven't seen you do that. I think you've won more of the bad putts have all done that one so far today. But it's all about the control. And for me, it's just that sense that I said to you, it's that feel of here doing the work and your shoulder moves down and up. Where I feel like your power sometimes you go good here and then you're letting that do the work. And it's just, it might be sometimes when you're standing on a putt you don't like, whether it's a downhill left or right, where all of a sudden you're like, I much prefer the uphill that way.
There's 2 sides to my putting. There's the good days when my hand-eye coordination is just dealing with everything.
And that's what I mean. When I said about the way you do it, you can putt really well. Yeah. It's not like it's always going to be rubbish. Yeah. And it's just the consistency of it.
Yeah, I don't like.
So on this, probably not on this putting green, but I like it on the other putting green because the way it's shaped and it's not too big. Even just going tee in the middle of put a tee in the middle of it, and all you're going to do is aim to the edge of the green.
Yeah. You
work a little bit on distance control, and you probably get around the clock sort of thing. Maybe 1 ball. You don't have to hit loads, but then move the tee to this end of it. You're thinking you've got a massive putt going up that side. But the thing of why I like that is a slope.
Yeah.
So you've got uphill putts, downhill putts, and side hill slopes.
Yeah.
And you're forgetting about holding a putt. All you're doing is I'm just working to that distance. Can I find that tempo? Because the bit you can go away and practice, if I'm going to hit these 3 putts going this way, if I'm going to make a stroke and my ball just goes to I'm going to do a stroke to just on the inside of my right foot with where the lead edge is. So that's my tempo. I'm going to feel quite comfortable with that. So if I'm going to go same putt, but to the outside of my right foot, same tempo, should go another couple of feet.
12 foot.
If I'm going to do it to a couple of inches outside my right foot, a little bit further.
That's really good.
And it's trying to find that, because it's not like pitching where you can be quite exact and thinking, if I swing a pitching wedge to the heel, it's going to go that far. But it's to try and give you a feel of it. Because I like the idea of what I said earlier about trying to find if I try and do 3 nice putts
It's
here.
like there's the reference point then for like 10
Yeah.
foot and then
Well,
12 foot.
again, it doesn't have to be exact, but I like this one where
Yeah.
I take my normal setup and I'm going to take a straight to the outside of my right foot, and I'm going to just an easy, relaxed movement, and all these 3 balls should end up in the same place, just about. Yeah, it felt a bit short, that last one. So
Is that you missing the sweet spot perhaps?
no, I was about that far short in the backswing. Look at the other 2,
really?
were perfect.
Yeah.
I got to about there, and I didn't quite get through. But the thing is, what I tend to find, if I'm gone onto a golf course and played before, I'll go on the putting green and do this. I'll make sure it's quite flat.
Yeah.
But then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paces. There's a bit uphill.
I think that's.
But I'll start to know how quick the greens are out in the golf course. But if I've got a 6 pace uphill putt, I know what length backswing I'm going to do.
Well, that's.
I know it's a bit.
Pro move right there, isn't it?
And for me, it's just giving me a reference point, because when I play, I don't play a lot of golf at the moment, but when I play, I always pace my putts out, especially if it's a long putt. 20 yards, I'll get a feel of it. What does it need to be? If that's only 6 yards, what's 20 yards? I can get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And it's the same from what you've described, how you feel in your
Sometimes
putting.
if I'm putting bad, I will rush my.
We do the opposite side of
I
it.
want to get them done quick.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. You don't trust what's going on, so you're going to give it a smash and get it over and done with.
It almost close my eyes and do it.
Well, see, that's probably better.
So great. So I've got to stop this twitchy. FR bit.
No, it's this hand. There's a right hand wanting to do it.
This is the overactive hand.
Yeah. For me, it looks it.
What did I do? I had a little swap around.
And sometimes that can work, but you're still trying to make sure your finished position as a putter face is going towards the target, where even with the right hand swapping over, I still think it can still have a go. That's where I find it's not always the.
Okay,
that's good.
I can like do that, but that's a push, right?
I know. I think you started it straight. You were aiming straight. There's a big break on this putt. Good putt.
Yeah, so that closing down sometimes feels like it's just relaxing.
You help it, yeah. Well, I think you'll probably help. You feel like you're helping it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, no, you're starting it an inch further left than you want to. But the problem is, it's like a half an inch from there. So,
yeah,
for a 20-foot putt, it's probably a foot too far left that you're starting it. Happy?
Yeah.
Got something to work on?
Yeah,
it was good. The putting stroke doesn't look terrible. I think it's more about practice. For me, it's giving you a way to practice and give you something to practice.
Yeah.
Rather than actually saying, look, you've got so much to work on your putt. It looks good. Even your first few putts where I thought you were standing there a little bit here, straight away you've got back into it and a little bit more eyes over the ball. And I think that position helps with straight back and through. As soon as there, you can quite easily get that work a bit too much manipulation for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just that sense here, nice and connected.
Should I put anything under there to? No.
It didn't get too much.
I always feel like I've got loads of weird angles here.
No, you're really good, and it's a nice position because you got the back of your elbows, as in the inside of your elbows here, pointing out a bit more.
Yeah.
Where most people, they get it wrong. They get them turned in a bit more. Almost like a normal grip.
Yeah.
Your hands are supposed to sway a little bit like this.
So one thing I do is I kind of pull it back after my follow through. So I go like that.
Yep, that's good. Just keeping that left hand moving, keeping the butt end of the club moving forward.
Yeah.
So if you go back, keeping it going forward, and that's where you get your twitchy one, where it probably stops and it just gets a bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
Bit of hands working.